morning, great people. I welcome you to today's episode of Seed of Life Daily Show. And I pray that as you listen, the Lord will bless you greatly. Today, we are considering a topic called God can use you. I mean, you can use you. Okay, and our text will be taken from the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 20. I'll read from two different versions, from GNB and from the NLT version. I read from the NLT version first, which says, "Not a single person on earth is always good and never sins." Then from the GNB versions, it says, "There is no one on earth who does what is right all the time and never makes a mistake." Wow. So the Bible is telling us that there is no one that does not make a mistake. Okay? Many people are running from being used by God because of their imperfection. Noah got drunk. Jacob lied. Moses was a murderer. Rahab was a prostitute. David had an affair. He even killed because of that affair. And Peter wasn't perfect either. Yet God used them all. And He can use you too. The scripture says, "But God has selected for His purpose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise, revealing their ignorance. And God has selected for His purpose the weak things of the world to shame the things which are strong, revealing their frailty." That's 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27, the Amplified Version. This message today is to encourage you, you listening to me, that no matter how bad you think you are, God can use you. I remember two different pastors sharing of how their life used to be. One even had to go to prison. He went to prison. He was a cult member. He went to prison. Most of his colleagues had been killed, and he was in prison for 9 years. And it was in that prison that God met with him. In the prison, we have both good and bad people meeting there. But he was really a bad person. And while he was in prison, God met with him, and he's doing wonderfully well for God now. Another person wrote his own story of how he was a cult person. He was a very bad person. And even in his bad state, he knew that God had a purpose for his life. And he was doing ministry, doing the work of God, and he was still living in sin. Other friends that he had, some of them were telling him that, "We know you are a bad person. Why are you troubling yourself? Why are you doing all these things? Forget God and let's continue in this." But he was struggling and he was serving God. He was struggling with sin, he was serving God. And God saw the sincerity of his heart, and God saved him. Now he's no longer in the struggle again. He's living a life that pleases God, and he's serving God with his whole heart. God can use you too. He can do mighty things with your life. All you need to do is acknowledge that you are weak. Acknowledge that you have your imperfections. Tell it to God and trust Him. He is ready to accept anyone that comes to Him. One of the things God will never reject is those who truly seek for His help. Our food for thought today says, "No life is too dirty to be cleansed and used by God." Our action point says, "Expose your weakness before God today, and He will use you." And then the prayer for today, I want you to say after me with your whole heart, "Father, make me a mighty, useful instrument in your hand." God bless you.